Hey guys, this is Cam for 15. I'm back at it with another video for you guys, and I'm back with some more The Flash of season 7. And what a pretty interesting episode here. I like the episode. I'm still kind of mixed on what Barry's decision was at the end, the last part. But hey, it is what it is. But this episode takes place after what we saw after the shocking revelations, which you could say it was shocking, not shocking. Some people call that, oh, the Speed Force is shady, and essentially, that was the Speed Force attacking Alexa, who was the holder of the Strength Force, and essentially killed her. And that's what we start off. The Strength Force is dead, or Alexa is dead. And Nora essentially tells Barry, look, if you're not gonna help me, I don't care what your morals are. Either you're with me or you're against me, and stuff like that. And it doesn't matter. I'm gonna kill all the forces, whether you help me or you don't help me. So she just dips. Now we cut over to Camilla and Cisco, and essentially Camilla says that because of her photos she's been taking, she's gotten, I think she said either she got accepted to a university or got in a job in San Francisco, which ties up the whole reason why, aka obviously, you see the actor who plays Cisco eventually dips, and that's how they're going to write his character off, that he's going to go Camilla to live in San Francisco, because we see at the end of the episode, they both want to go or leave Central City, and stuff like that. What happens is Barry and Iris and the others realize that they actually, because of them, created the other forces and stuff like that. So Barry, in order to make Nora from not, or the Speed Force from not killing the other forces, essentially Barry wants to go back in time and stop the forces from being created. Now, when I was first watching this, I was like, Ninja, we're going to create another. I'm like, I thought we were done with going back in time and doing all this fixing shit, because it never worked in the past seasons. Why would you do it again? And heck, even Cisco brings up a point. He's like, you would be creating another Flashpoint. And he's like, well, yeah, but this time would be different. I'm like, okay, anyways. But Iris is like, no, we need to reason with Nora and talk her down and stuff like that. And essentially Barry is like, look, we can't do that. And then they're kind of butting heads, and Iris is like, well, then I can't freaking do this plan with you if you're going to go through with this and stuff like that. So yeah, then that's when you have the team of Iris, Allegra, and Camilla. See that they're like these thermal readings that they can use to track the forces, so they end up doing that. Their little storyline ends up with them going back to the old Allen house in order to find Nora. They actually run in, not into Nora, but they run into Psyche, and stuff like that. Now Psyche gets Camilla and Allegra to have their fears. Iris breaks one through one of the fears, but kind of the thing, her fear is the fact that, I guess you can say, she would never live up to protecting Barry or something like that. So yeah, now on the Barry side plot of things, what is it? In order to help with maybe not affecting the timeline and changing things, Barry actually goes back to the year 2000 to pick up Harrison Wells, the Wells we saw earlier in the season and stuff like that. And funny enough, whereas they're making the thing, or creating the thing to get ready to go back in time, I seriously was laughing my ass off when I saw this scene in the episode, when Dion just out of nowhere just shows up. Yes, the holder of the Steel Force. He just shows up out of nowhere. I'm like, dude. I'm like, wait, what? I'm like, this dude just showed up right up in Star Labs, just like that. Okay, geez, everybody could just walk up in here and do nothing. Essentially, they're like, he's like, what the hell are you guys doing up in here? Because I feel like something's going on here. And they're all trying to play it off like nothing. Now Barry meets him, and Barry tries to talk him down, but Dion's not listening. Dion eventually freezes Wells, Cisco, and Chester, but Barry's unaffected by it. And essentially Barry's telling him, look, I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to, help you. I'm not trying to make it to where you don't have Steel Force no more. And essentially, Dion's like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. I want to keep this power because this power makes me a god and stuff like that. And he kind of freezes Barry. He takes the Tachyon device and kind of makes it age up and stuff like that. So what happens next is, they're trying to find a way to fix it, but Cisco's like, I don't know about this, guys. And he's essentially out on the whole plan because he doesn't want to do this whole thing, because he's like, I kind of agree with Dion. Like, why should we be taking away something he feels that makes him him and stuff like that. Now Chester, he agrees with Cisco too, but he's still willing to go through with the plan. Wells is like, look, Barry, whatever is in your heart that you feel is right to do, I'm gonna do it. So essentially, freaking Wells is neutral in this whole thing and stuff like that. So yeah. Now, eventually what happens before they go back in time, Cisco's like, look, I don't agree with doing this, but look, I'm gonna help you because I always got your back, no matter what. So Wells and Barry managed to go back to the time when the forces were created. We actually see the past version of that timeline's Wells look at Barry and Wells himself, and that's what I guess most people were saying, oh, what was he looking at? And stuff like that. Well, as they go up to the whole top to take away the forces, Barry gets the particles to do it, and as the particles are being taken in, the life force of the forces are going away piece by piece, and you can see that the forces are starting to essentially get affected by this and they're starting to turn like inert, and they're not, and it's even taking the users away. And it's like making them vanish or something like that. I don't know if there would be like some sort of thing that they would be gone permanently out of existence, or they just be back at a place where they were at the time where they just would have gone on living their lives. I don't know what would have happened, but they were turning inert and they were essentially disappearing and stuff like that. But earlier in the episode, Barry was talking to Joe, and Joe brings up the fact, like, these forces, you got to treat them like they're your kids in some sort of way, and you got to have it to where they have to make their own decisions on what they want to do with their powers and stuff like that. And it is what it is. And that's when Barry kind of realizes it, because he sees the forces being created, and at the last second he thinks this isn't right. He destroys the thing, which makes the forces stop disappearing, the people holding the forces, and they're back whole again. For me, look, if it was me, I would have just been like, screw it, we're destroying these things because we got a bigger looming threat, and stuff like that. And I think the Speed Force would have been fine by that case. But okay, I'm gonna have to listen to other people's reviews. I didn't get other people's thoughts on what the decision Barry made. Personally, I'm thinking, if you want to save the world, you would get rid of the forces, regardless or not, whether how ethical the hero decision or how much it looks like. Like, I'm sorry. Yeah, you could say you created them, but they're not legitimately your kids. So what? Now, again, I don't know what would have happened to these people. It seemed like these people would have just disappeared out of existence, I'm guessing. I have no clue what would have happened there, but yeah, that's just my thoughts. So yeah, you have the whole Barry and Iris makeup scene and stuff like that. So yeah, Alexa actually reawakens thanks to a shock, thanks to Barry and Iris, which probably will trigger some people that Iris managed to help out at the same time as well. I feel like people are also going to be triggered to the fact that Iris and Barry are seeing these as their legitimate kids in a way, because they created it and stuff like that. All the different forces. Now the episode leaves off on a cliffhanger, essentially, and that is essentially you have Dion just dancing around to this music in his headset, and then lo and behold, Nora the Speed Force shows up and essentially looks like she's going to take out Dion, and obviously, of course, because she lifts her hands up, she just starts doing the very fast vibrating hand thing that every damn speedster does in this damn show. And for some reason, every time they do that, see, there needs to be like a meme or a gif where it's like if a speedster starts vibrating his or her hand very fast, you're fucked. Because that's what's gonna happen to Dion, and that's where the episode ends off. So we don't know if Nora's gonna end up killing Dion, which probably is gonna happen. The question is, will they get there in the nick of time and stuff like that? And again, the actor that portrays Nora is looking very fucking devious here. Like, she looks like a legit evil bad guy, and I'm like, bro, props to her. She's working it, man. But that's kind of what happens in this week's episode. Next week, it seems like they're gonna train Alexa to better control the strength force and stuff like that. So yeah. Oh, and then I also forgot to mention, Camilla and Cisco then realize that they want to both leave Central City, which again explains the plot or the reasoning behind the actor that plays Cisco eventually leaving the Flash, and that's how you write his character off going to San Francisco. I still believe the actor that plays Cisco might not make an appearance next season, but maybe in the final season, whenever whenever it happens for the Flash, I definitely do feel like he will come back for maybe a few episodes, and stuff like that. So yeah, that's kind of it. But I thought this was a pretty solid episode. I enjoyed it for the most part, and yeah. Anyways, guys, if you guys like the video, leave a like, put in the comment section your thoughts on this week's episode of The Flash, as well as hit that subscribe button if you want to get more Flash content, as well as any other CW, DC TV show content, and stuff like that. Other than that, guys, hopefully you guys are staying safe out there, and hopefully you guys are having a great rest of your day. Till then, guys, see you guys in the next video. Peace.